Sabrina Celeste, and today I want to talk to you about EFT. EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. I have been tapping, it's also commonly known as tapping, for about 17 years, and I worked through, I was able to release so much trauma from my own body when I first started that I became a practitioner, and now I tap with others. What is EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique? Well, it's a combination of ancient Chinese acupressure and modern psychology. So we literally have 361, probably more, but 361 pressure points, meridian points throughout our body that acupuncturists have been using for centuries to place small needles in and to release energy. What happens is that when you grow up and you have traumatic experiences, I've had a few traumatic experiences myself, you tend to hold them in your body. Something will happen and it will trigger you, and you'll think, oh, that whatever it is that happened is what has caused so much anguish and anger and emotion. And although, yes, it might, what happens is that it triggers that memory, the memory that you hold in the cells of your body, and those become triggered and inflamed. So what happens is that when you get triggered by an experience and it creates a lot of unwanted and negative emotion, it actually draws from that traumatic pain that has been stuck in the cells of your body for who knows how long. It could go back as far as childhood. It could even go as far back as in the womb. Why do we want to tap these unresolved, painful emotional issues out of our body? Because of those highly charged emotional memories that are painful get stuck in the cells of your body. It can wreak havoc on your life. How did I find EFT? It was by accident, really. I was 13 years sober at the time, and I was experiencing a lot of anger still. I mean, a lot of anger. And I had been studying metaphysics and affirmations, and did my 12 steps, I don't know, probably 12 times. And I had gone to therapy, and I couldn't understand why I still had so much anger that would surface at the most odd times. My body developed an ulcer, and I started to bleed. And I would wake up with excruciating pain in my abdomen and, around my uterus. And I guess, I don't know, I'm not a doctor, but it was so bad that when the pain would strike, all I could do was just lay there. I believe that a lot of our physical ailments are directly connected to unresolved emotional issues. I mean, take, for example, the ulcer that I had. I woke up one afternoon, I was just taking a nap or resting, and I woke up with so much pain. I was in so much pain, and I was beginning to bleed. That I couldn't even reach the phone to call 911 on myself. And I can take a lot of physical pain, okay? But this was something different. And I had discovered EFT about a week prior to that. It just kind of popped up on my, YouTube search one day. Gary Craig, who is the founder of EFT, I kind of took a glance through it. I know my mom had mentioned it before, but I really didn't pay too much attention to it. So I started to tap. I tapped for about 15 minutes, and I was able to sit up. And for the next 2 days, what I tapped on was my biological father and what happened with me as a child and him. Well, I have to tell you that the pain went away, the bleeding stopped, and it never returned. And I just thought to myself at that moment, holy cow, if this works, I am going to learn everything there is to know about EFT, and I'm going to take it and tap with anybody who wants to tap. I went to therapy for so long. I think the last time I went to a therapist, I ended up listening to her. I mean, because how many times can you tell your story, right? And so after you're aware of it, after you share it, after you talk about it, what are you supposed to do with it? That's where I was at. It's like, I can't talk about this shit anymore. What do I do about it? So that's when EFT came in, and I started to tap. And I probably tapped on my mother and father for off and on for 3 years. No, I don't know if that is the norm for me. I just, I believe that when you begin to tap, it's just kind of like, what happens is like, very similar to layers of an onion. You slowly peel off layer by layer all the painful memories and shit that gets trapped in the cells of your body that can wreak havoc on your life. Not only is having, dysfunctional parents or watching dysfunctional relationships affect a person growing up, but the memory of how you felt during that time stays with you. That's what gets trapped in the cells of your body. If you experienced, your parents going through something really painful and traumatic, you hold that in your body. If you, then as you get older, you have, relationships, or you get your heart broken, or certain things happen that are just, very emotionally taxing, and then you hold that in your body. But worse yet, as you get older, as you grow older, those emotions that get trapped in the cells of your body are triggered by, events. Let's say you keep choosing the same type of person over and over again, that a person that might be toxic or not good for you. So that, that's going to trigger that emotion, and that old feeling, that old memory is going to come back. You're not going to think about, oh yeah, that happened to me as a child with my mom and my dad. You're going to be thinking about, oh yeah, this asshole broke my heart. Why am I going through this again? That's what you're going to think about. But it really stems back to, what happened when you were a kid, the feelings that you experienced during, whatever it was that was happening that affected you so deeply and profoundly. And those are the feelings that get stuck in the cells of your body. That's what your body holds on to. And so what tapping does is you are releasing the pain from that memory by releasing it from the cells of your body. So theoretically speaking, according to Dr. Gary Craig, and I can definitely attest to this, is that it is, the memory will still be there, but the pain associated with it will be gone. And it is a permanent effect. And, I can attest to that. It is a permanent effect. So, all right, let's tap. We have 361 meridian points in our body that acupuncturists use for acupuncture, but we're not going to tap on 361. That's just too many. So Gary Craig developed a tapping point system, and you really only tap about 9 of those 361 points, starting with the karate chop point. So and I combine EFT with EMDR, and that technique is highly beneficial when rewiring the brain. As you're releasing that pain, you begin to look at that memory or that pain as more of an experience rather than a trauma. Step 1, you want to identify the issue. What's the issue? Most of the time when someone comes to me and wants to tap, they want to tap about a current issue, where they are at now. So we identify the issue. It could be, I lost my job, or, my loved one and I broke up, this person betrayed me, whatever it is. Okay, identify the issue. And then I ask you to go back, close your eyes and go back to your childhood. Clear your mind and allow your memories to come to you. And search through your memories and find a memory that is associated with the same feeling or emotion. At first, a memory is gonna pop up and you're gonna think, no, that's not it. Yes, that's it. So let's say, let's say someone betrayed you, and you close your eyes and you go back into your childhood and you discover or you remember that either a friend or a parent betrayed you, and you felt the same way that you're feeling today, right now. Okay, so we will tap on the current issue, but as a practitioner, I like to go back and tap on the childhood issue. That's, with the same emotional, with the same emotions that are connected to one another. The same, level of intensity and feeling and emotion that you are having now that you had also when you were a child. So you start with the karate chop point. This is the karate chop point. So I'm going to show you the 9 points. We're just going to go through the 9 points. Karate chop point. Okay. As you're thinking about that emotion, right? Write it down, talk about it. If you're alone, write it down so that you can kind of look at it and refer to it. If you're with a practitioner or someone who knows how to tap, you can, speak to them about what you're thinking. On a scale of 1 to 10, how angry are you? How sad are you? How hurt are you? If it's like around a 9 or a 10, yeah, you've got some shit to tap out. Okay. So what you start with is, even though, okay, we're going to start with the memory that was brought up in your childhood. Even though, even though my dad, I'll just use my father. Even though my dad, I feel like he betrayed me in the worst way. He left. He didn't talk about leaving. We didn't know what was going on. And he left me. And I'm really, really angry about that. I'm really sad about that. And I'm really hurt about that. But I love and accept and forgive myself completely. Okay, so we need to end with that every time as we're doing our setup statement. Why? Why do we need to love and forgive and accept myself if the other person did us wrong? Because we held that emotion hostage and we maintained that resentment all these years, even if we weren't thinking about it. And it seemed to be that other situations would arise and trigger that emotion all over again. We kind of held ourselves hostage to that, right? With maybe perhaps underlying resentment or just anger, even for the current situation. So we love and forgive and accept ourselves for doing that, for allowing ourselves to make decisions that might have placed us in, a position of, danger or sadness or to be hurt, okay? So we do it again, even though, my dad betrayed us. I feel really angry about it. And so about now, you're going to feel a lot of emotion come up because you're going to be like, wow, I did not know that I still felt so angry about this feeling, about this betrayal, about this, experience that I had as a kid, right? So you say it again, even though I was a kid and, so-and-so betrayed me and I felt really bad and really angry, and it was never explained, why to me, and he just left, he was gone. But I love and accept and forgive myself completely. You want to do it a third time. Even though when I was a kid, this happened to me, and I was very sad about it, and I never had any closure. Nothing was ever spoken about, and I really feel betrayed, and sometimes, sometimes you'll want to cuss. I know that when I was tapping about my, on certain things about my parents, that I was cussing a lot. I was so angry. Man, I swear, if somebody was watching at that time, they probably would have thought they needed to perform an exorcism on me. Seriously, I was just like so angry. Well, no, I'm not, as you can see, right? And then you end with, I love and accept and forgive myself and anyone else who taught me this bullshit was okay, all right? So now let's go into the tapping. After you do the statement, the setup statement, 3 times on the karate chop point, about what it is you're angry about, ending with, I love and accept and forgive myself completely, go to your eyebrow point. It's going to be inside at the very corner of your eyebrow, inside, you know what I mean? Okay. And you just start tapping all this pain, all this fucking pain. God. Ugh. Corner of the eye. Why did it happen to me? Why did they do that? Why didn't they respect my feelings as a person under the eye? I'm really upset. I'm really angry. And I was just a kid. Usually about now, when you start saying I was just a child, you'll start crying. Under the nose, all this anger, all this pain. On the chin, right there directly on the indentation of the chin. And you might, continue with, whatever. You might, if you're at a 9 or a 10, you might be too angry to cry. So you'll have to do a few rounds of this before you get in touch with your emotions. Okay. Collarbone. Where the 2 collarbones meet, that's where you want to tap. All this anger, all this pain. I'm really angry. I'm really, really angry right now at how I was treated, and I don't understand why. At this point, you're like bringing up all this anger, right? And you just want to release it. You want to release it because it's just not serving you anymore, right? This current situation, okay, this is called the bra strap pressure point. It's right under your arm. At this point, with whatever it is that just happened that caused you all this anger and betrayal, you're just done. You're just like, I don't want to go through this anymore. I'm sick of this shit. I'm done. I want out, or I want to move forward, or I do not want to subject myself to this anymore. Whatever it is, you're done, right? So you tap on the top of your head, this or better, I now release myself, this emotion in mind, body, and spirit. This is where I start with the EMDR and the gamut points. So you start at the top of your thumb, and you just say something like, this pain, this anger. Index finger, this pain, this anger. Middle finger, this pain, this anger. You skip the ring finger and go to the pinky. This pain, this anger. The reason you skip the ring finger is because you start tapping on what is called the gamut point between your between your ring finger and your pinky. All this pain. At this point, you're tapping the gamut point, right, between your pinky and your ring finger, right here in the indentation. And then you shut your eyes. And then open them. And then you look to the right and you look to the left. You roll your eyes one direction and then you roll them the other while you're tapping consistently. You hum happy birthday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You take a deep breath and you make sure that you have a lot of water next to you, and you drink a lot of water because your brain works overtime when you're tapping. And then you ask yourself, you can even cross your legs because that really helps with the whole rewiring of the brain. On a scale of 1 to 10, where is that anger and pain now? So then if it has gone, excuse me, if it has gone down considerably, let's say it's gone down to a 5, until it's down to a level 5, you still have some tapping to do, my friend. Once you get to that level 5, I call it the positive round. Then you can go through and you can start the positive round. Even though I was a kid, I know my parents were only human. I am willing to release this on a cellular level, okay? Because we want to start talking about how we're going to release this on a cellular level. And I love and accept and forgive myself completely. Even though this happened to me and it was painful at the time, I have learned a lot from it and no longer want to make the same mistakes that I am making that is causing me to replay this scenario over and over and over again. And I love and accept and forgive myself completely. And you do it one more time. Even though This is real. This happened to me, and it was pretty messed up that it happened to me. I am ready to let it go. I'm ready to let it go now. You won't be able to let it go until you're down to about a level 5. But once you're at a level 5, you will start to feel lighter, and you'll start to feel like, okay, I think I'm ready to let this shit go now. Okay. Then you just keep tapping. This is the third one, the third time, even though I feel really strongly about this. I understand now that, my parents were my parents, but they were also really messed up individuals. I love and accept and forgive myself and them and anyone else who taught them that it was okay to do that kind of crap to me, okay? Like I said, you don't have to say that. That's just how I speak. I release this on a cellular level. I am ready to release this on a cellular level. I release this on a cellular level. I am ready to release and maybe even forgive. I'm ready to release and even let go. I know they were only human and they had their own stuff, and it's their stuff, not my stuff, and I don't have to carry it anymore. It's not mine. I'm ready to release it in mind, body, and spirit. I'm ready to release it in mind, body, and spirit. Okay, and then one more time we'll do this so that you'll remember how to do it. The thumb, I'm letting go. The index finger, I'm releasing it on a cellular level. Middle finger, I release. Pinky, I release. Gamma point between pinky and index, I release. I'm releasing this now. Close your eyes, open. Look to the right, look to the left. Roll your eyes one way, roll them the other. I can't remember what counterclockwise and clockwise is anyway. Hum, count to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then hum. And then you take a deep breath. God, I don't know about you, but I feel good. I feel better already, and I don't know if I still have that issue or not. Maybe I did. I did bring it up after all. Seriously, EFT is so amazing. I'm just really grateful that I got sober 29 years ago and that I chose this path in this direction. It's definitely not for the faint at heart. Looking back over one's, painful, dysfunctional, traumatic childhood or experience. It doesn't even have to be your childhood. If you had traumatic, or painful experiences, even as an adult, you don't have to carry that pain around or that fear or whatever. It could be fear of money, of not having enough, of not, saving enough, of not getting enough, of whatever. All these issues that we as human beings experience. It's not to say that it isn't normal to have these feelings. I mean, we are spirits having a human experience after all. But when it gets to the point where you find yourself building walls between you and other people, or you catch yourself or you find yourself in the same situation over and over again that is just no longer serving you, then perhaps maybe it's time to look a little deeper at what it is exactly that is causing these experiences to happen in your life. I don't know. So that's really up to you, and taking responsibility for your own happiness in your own life. I think it's important to do that, right? Happiness is an inside job. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and please, if you like this kind of stuff, subscribe. You can also contact me if you want to do a one-on-one EFT session with me. I'm also a psychic medium. If you want to set up an EFT session with me, you can contact me with I'll put my information below. And yeah, I'm here to help. So I guess that's it. And just remember, make the rest of your life the best of your life. I remember the first time someone said that, I was just like, oh my God, what's wrong with that fool? What a weirdo. And then later on I thought about it, and I'm like, make the rest of your life the best of your life. Well, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I think that's what I'm going to do. And that's what I think you should do. Mwah. Love you guys. Bye.